sports community, coming to you via Facebook, coming to you via YouTube, and also coming to you via Twitch. So if you don't know what Twitch is, then you need to be coming to our live stream on Fridays, which is Esport Friday. We were really pleased last Friday that Nigel Smart from the Adelaide Crows could spare a couple of minutes of his time before the showdown weekend to talk us through why the Adelaide Crows have an esport team. I wanted to just take a couple of minutes for today's session into yesterday. What we did was we looked back at the thoughts of Rob Dalton, the CEO of Sport Australia, and in his article, or in a quote in an article of April 14 with Chip LeGrand, he was really worried about the fact that people might struggle to come back to sport when it started to reopen because new behaviours were being created. And yesterday we looked at the Chelsea Football Netball Club, who have cancelled the season or elected not to participate in the season, even though the competition that they participated in hadn't yet cancelled, and really are going to do everything they can to get going. So that was really interesting. And so one of the things that at Sports Community, we're really keen to do is explore how do we get clubs, or how can we help clubs get over this hump between when they last played and when they next played. And one of the key things is the way that they communicate with their members. And I guess one of my favorite clubs to follow on social media, apart from the Mighty Tigers and also Melbourne Storm, who are two of the best at using social media to create audiences, and we will showcase what they do in future weeks. But one of my favorite community sports clubs to follow is the Wilston Grange Australian Football Club up in Queensland. So I thought we'd take a little bit of a guided tour, or a little bit of a journey through their Facebook page, and look at how they are communicating with their members as they're looking to come back to sport. So let me just bring up that, make that a little bit bigger. And good morning, Deb. Yeah, no, my voice is excuse me, is struggling. I was very happy to see that tonight, for the first time in about 12 weeks, I don't have a webinar. So that's cool. So for those that have been following the live stream, like yourself, Deb, you would know that I've featured the Wilston Grange Gorillas almost from day one of the COVID shutdown. And I love the way that they're taking their comms and where they've operated as a club. So if we look at what they're looking for, what they're doing, their post merchandise store, we have 5, 10, 20 dollar bargain boxes. Come and check it out. They also have been from day one of the COVID lockdown, selling gold, silver memberships and playing memberships. So they were giving themselves the opportunity to raise funds by people who could help them come in. Also, sorry, that could help them financially, willing and able to. They were giving them ways to do that. Their communication has changed significantly as they're bringing people back to being that, informing them what the experience is going to be like. So really, in a practical sense, we've been talking about in the live streams that we're seeing conflict as people are coming back to clubs, because the experience is different to what they expect it to be. And it has to be. We have to make sure that our clubs do not become COVID clusters. So we have to change the way we're operating. We have to change. Well, we can't compete yet, although that looks like coming very soon. So Wilston Grange is telling people, they're telling people there's no car access down the left-hand side of the clubhouse during training. This is a designated entry point. They're showing people ins and outs. Get in, get trained. They're communicating very strongly. So they're setting the expectation of what it's going to be like when you come back to the club, so people already know. So when they come back to the club, expectation and reality are the same. So really, really good work there. School holiday programs, so really looking for ways to get people back into participation. And look at the numbers of people that are clicking on their things. So the school holiday programs, 33 people were engaging with it there. Here's the memberships that they're selling. Got a pair of footy boots that no longer fit. Secondhand boot store is low. So again, looking to help people that can't. Thanks, Simone, another regular, for liking the video. So looking to help people that can't necessarily afford it themselves. So membership, sponsors. So one of the things that Wilston Grange has done really well through this period is promote their sponsors, share how their sponsors are traveling, and really creating that community of helping each other. Because one of the things that we absolutely know about human nature, once the heartache, once the challenge, once we've got through COVID, then the things that are going to live with us and last specifically in our memories, yes, a little bit about the heartache, but the thing that's going to live forever is the acts of kindness that we received as individuals and how those acts made us feel. So one of the things that Wilston Grange has done brilliantly well through the COVID period is really look after their sponsors and promote them. Great to see you at footy training. Thank you for everyone for following the training protocols. Really subtle way of saying, hey, we've got to do things differently, and thank you for doing it. And look at that. 118 people engaged with that and said, yep, that's brilliant. Great to be back. But 118 people knew that there were training protocols that were going to be different to when they got back. Brilliant. Due to COVID, so comms. Again, setting the expectation, only one parent or carer. We ask you that only one parent or carer. Again, setting the expectation so that we make sure that reality and the expectation match. When they match, no conflict, great experience. Even though we might not like the fact that we can only have one parent or carer there, we understand that's the case. We understand why that's the case. And we don't rock up with two parents and two or grandparents or multiple people while we can't do that. And again, 15 people commented or engaged with it. Again, we've got the shop, so creating ways. Again, sharing expectations, no sharing of water bottles. Really, really, really good. Recruitment of players. Showing how we're going to set up the ground, what the expectation is, get in, train, get out, come dressed, ready to train, because you won't be able to get into the change rooms, right? And so setting that expectation, really, really clever, really well done. And again, look at that, 56 people are engaging, plus comments, plus shares. So lots of people in the club community are getting access to this information and going really, really well. As we have to do, appointing the COVID safe officer, there he is. Big smile on his face. This is a good job. This is a fun job. Doesn't look burdened by the pressure. Great message. We're in control. Love it. I really, really love it. It's a great, 41 people saw it. Get in, get out. Again, looking at, do you know a little boy or girl born between these dates who might like to play AFL? So what they're doing is they're using their network, their supporters, to go out and recruit for them. Brilliant. Love it. Fantastic. Right? This is a brilliant constructed social media strategy that a communication strategy that the Wilston Grange are going through. Return to training update, constantly communicating expectations, bit of fun with drills to do at home, sponsors, etc. Now, what's the benefit of spending time on creating a really strong communication strategy? Well, one, it creates a really strong, engaged community. Two, it helps you achieve your goals. But three, it helps take us on a journey towards next year. But three, every now and then when we need some help from our community, because we've engaged, we're giving them, we're communicating, we're creating that strong sense of belonging. Wilston Grange Gorillas did a fundraising strategy using the Australian Sports Foundation, and we've had them on the show, on the live stream. Excuse me. They were seeking to raise $30,000, and they actually raised up $36,000. So why spend all this time building the community? Because that's how successful clubs operate. So brilliant. Well done. So on that, what we've got starting this week on Thursday evening this week. So what's that going to make it? The 18th of June at 7 p.m. is we're starting the first session in a 3-week webinar series, how to create a communication social media strategy for your club that's going to play a really important part of getting us through from when we last played to when we next played. So really cost-effective session, only $10 a seat for three weeks, so about $30, I think. So click on the link that's with this post. If you've got people in your club that are looking after the social media, not sure what to do, the communications, then tag them in. It'll be the best 3 hours that they spend over 3 weeks. Lots of great people will be part of the session. Great fun, lots of information, lots and lots of examples of clubs doing amazing things that make it easier for them to be successful. We've also got, starting tomorrow, our advanced training course. So it's a 9-week webinar training program over once a fortnight. That one's a bit more expensive because it's a 9-week session for advanced. So that one's $200. But if you're an experienced administrator, if you're an experienced president and want to kind of take your club to the next level, then we look at those things that are involved in that session. So, and then later on in July, we really tear apart participation and what does that look like post-COVID-19 as well. So thank you very much, Deb and Simone, two of my favorite regulars. Thank you very much for watching as you do most mornings and commenting and making me feel like I'm not talking to myself in an empty room. To everybody else that's watching live, to everyone that watches the recordings and shares and link and tags the people in that need to see these videos. Thank you very much. Until tomorrow, thank you for being part of our sports community. I'll go and get a soother now, Deb.